Hey guys, it's Kevin DeSilva here with the Living in Los Angeles channel, and today we are covering the difference between Larchmont, Hancock Park, Koreatown, and East Hollywood, how to make sense of which neighborhood you might be buying a house, what types of properties are there, and most importantly, what fun things are there to do around there. Let's get started on the video, and before we do, if you want to be the first to know about any of the videos we publish so that you can incorporate it into your living situation and into your lifestyle, simply hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications and learn about stuff that we share before anybody else. Let's get back to business. So, Kevin DeSilva here, Living in Los Angeles channel. Our goal is that you make better decisions through better information. I'm going to share my screen. This is a map share through my multiple listing service account. Let's get started. All right, guys, so let's zoom out here real quick. So this is the Los Angeles basin. What a lot of people don't realize, and I'm going to switch back and forth between these, is Los Angeles is huge. Los Angeles goes all the way from the harbor, which is the port of Los Angeles, San Pedro, Wilmington, Harbor City. There's a little gerrymandered strip that kicks out, rolling up the 110 freeway, and then connects with South LA, Watts. South Los Angeles is a big area. South Central is generally on the right side, whereas South LA does bleed over to the left side. Now, Los Angeles then goes north into central Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles, the Boyle Heights, East Los Angeles. You have Highland Park, wraps around, bordering Glendale. You have Los Feliz and the Hollywood Hills. And then you have some names that you're familiar with: Westwood, uh, Venice Beach, Mar Vista, parts of Marina del Rey, Playa del Rey, Westchester, LAX Airport. So these are all city of Los Angeles, and then in the middle that are isolated, and Pacific Palisades, of course, in Brentwood. I already said Westwood, but Holmby Hills, Bel Air. So it's Los Angeles is huge. Now, these are the names that we recognize here, being in the LA basin. When you're north of it, well, guess what? Almost all of the valley sits in Los Angeles as well. I mean, you have Tarzana, Woodland Hills, Sherman Oaks, Panorama City, Northridge. All of those communities are still part of Los Angeles City. So today we are going to the community and neighborhood of Larchmont and Koreatown, which border each other, but it becomes really confusing. Where's Hancock Park? Where's East Hollywood? Where does Hollywood? Let's take a look at where they start. Okay, so I'm going to take off the city view. There are a few things we could do here. One, we can go zip code. Now, zip codes are pretty good at identifying areas. They're not perfect. Like, for instance, here we're looking at Larchmont, but the zip code does go east all the way to Rampart Village. So it's the 90004. Hancock Park generally does have its own zip code, which is 90036. However, Hancock Park generally starts west of the Wilshire Country Club. So Larchmont is this little section east. We're going to do another filter here. Take out the city. We're going to go neighborhood. All right. So as you see here, this breaks it down really tight, but East Hollywood, a lot of people don't really refer to the section south of the 101 as East Hollywood. Hollywood does come down to here. So you have here the Hollywood Hills, over here up to the left. You have Hollywood, and it wraps around. You have Hancock Park here, Fairfax, where Fairfax High is. And then over here, you do have Larchmont, Koreatown, and it gets a little muddled when you're there because schools aren't, it's all one city. You can live in one particular neighborhood and still be part of another neighborhood. So let's continue looking here. As you can see, Larchmont is here, East Hollywood, and let's switch it up to MLS area because these also help define neighborhoods. And well, Koreatown doesn't have a multiple listing service area. So as you can see here, one would say mid Wilshire, but Wilshire's down south in the middle of it. Hollywood is clearly up here in this MLS area. So once again, the area would be East Hollywood right here, right before Los Feliz, and then Silver Lake. So things are interchangeable. That, my friend, is just a little glimpse into what is the difference between the different neighborhoods. Now, let's look at the different home types because this area has seen a lot of development over the years. And I got to say, quite a bit of it is good. In fact, it's introduced a lot of affordable condos, newer condominium complexes, also newer construction townhomes and single family homes into the neighborhood on top of your traditional full lot homes. Some of the other new construction single family homes are small lot subdivision, otherwise known as planned urban developments, which are really cool because they act like single family homes, but they almost look like townhomes. They take a larger lot, they divide it into its parcels, and sometimes there are easements. If you're on a corner, it's really nice because then you have direct access to your garage and nobody shares your little driveway. So once again, we're switching this back around. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn on the neighborhood. I do find as far as defining Larchmont, it is pretty good, except for people in Windsor Square or even parts of Hollywood. Larchmont has a really good name brand, so you wouldn't be surprised if you ran into somebody that lived next door to it and still said they live in Larchmont. It is actually a nice place to live. So we're going to look here. I'm going to turn on active listings just to give you a glimpse on what's on market right now here in the end of July 2024, and what you can expect from prices. So here, let's go condos. So the area, is prominent with condominiums. We've actually sold a couple in the area, and they range in age. There are newer ones that were built in the 2020s, older ones built before 2000, much older ones built before 1980s. So there's all kinds of stuff going on here, but let's take a look at this building right here. And I will turn on customer full so we don't give away any private information. So you'll see that condominiums in the area do typically run around 6, 7, 800,000, and they can go up in price, especially the nicer ones. So as you can see, this particular one, this building here was built in 2008. And one key aspect about when it was built is you can tell this Mediterranean look has faded out of style, I should say. So this Mediterranean look has faded out of style, but was very prominent after the turn of the millennium. All right, so we are looking now. So most people who live in this particular pocket of East Hollywood would actually associate more with Koreatown than they would with East Hollywood, as we saw from the MLS area here, which is the multiple listing service, which is the service that real estate agents use to share properties with each other. As you see, Hollywood generally is north of Melrose. So when we look at here, we do associate it more with Koreatown. And same with the businesses and everything that's going on there. Now, nothing against East Hollywood. It's just making a statement about how people feel about the neighborhood they live in. This regularly gets stuff wrong. And even Google gets stuff wrong. Like, for instance, Google likes to talk about parts of West LA as if they're in Mar Vista, which they are not. They have different zip codes. They have different schools they go to. So obviously Google and Zillow are getting that part wrong. So let's talk about where things are and what the people there feel like they are. So we're talking about Koreatown. The price, as you can see here, for a condo does bump up. Now, Koreatown, on average, has a higher density zoning. What that means is typically it is more common to see R3 and R4 lots in Koreatown than you would expect to see in Larchmont. There are quite a few pockets of Larchmont that are mainly just single family homes. Koreatown is a very high development area. A lot of condos came up in the 2010s and 2020s, and we're still seeing them today. I've shown a number of them, and like I said, we've closed on a couple for clients. And I got to say, my clients in Koreatown have been very happy. In fact, they haven't moved from the places we helped them get. Here is an example of a property in the 9004 zip code that is synonymous with Larchmont, but very much in Koreatown. Now, this particular property is newer, as you can see, built in 2016. And as such, these homes do sell for more money. Newer homes tend to be nicer, and these condos are no exception to that rule. As you can see, more modern finishes. You have that engineered wood floor look. And then you have these balconies with amazing views. In fact, that's one thing that is amazing about the Larchmont and Koreatown areas, including East Hollywood, is the great views. You can see the Hollywood sign a lot of times. You can see the Griffith Observatory, and you can see downtown LA, Century City, and the likes. That's just a quick example of what kind of condos you can expect to see in the Larchmont and Koreatown areas. Now let's take a look at these single family homes. All right, so let's go over here. And for any of you who are unfamiliar with what I'm currently using, this is the multiple listing service. I subscribe to CRMLS. I find it to be more robust, and I could show you some other stuff some other time, particularly around this called InfoSparks, which I use regularly in my business to help disseminate what's really going on in the real estate market. If you're curious and want to stay in touch on what's going on, do follow our newsletter. Simply leave a comment below and we'll make sure we get you on our newsletter, because once a month we do come out with our market report where we dissect what's really happening in the Los Angeles real estate market. So let's go to single family homes in the area. And as you can see, I'm going to draw a quick map just to help differentiate between the two. So here we go. Don't mind my press. There we go. And so 17 homes currently on the market. And let's look at their range. Okay. Whoops. As you can see here, homes are selling anywhere between $1,000,001 and 4.19, which is almost $4.2 million. So we're looking at this. What does $4.2 million get you in Larchmont? Well, $4.2 million gets you a large 2,998 square foot home on a 6,751 square foot lot. Now, this home has been on the market for 32 days and has already seen a price reduction. But this is what you can expect as far as what's going on, and obviously clean finishes, et cetera, et cetera. The next one down is about $4 million listed for, and this one is a craftsman style home, which some of the original craftsmen are in this neighborhood. We do have a listing, and I'll include this on another video. We have a listing coming up in the Hollywood Hills that is an original craftsman that was actually relocated from not far from here back in 1947, relocated to the Hollywood Hills and sits on a double lot. The craftsmen are amazing homes, and I gotta say, it is a great character of Los Angeles real estate. That and the Spanish style homes, we'll probably see one in here. So let's pause for a second, because I definitely want to touch on the craftsman and Spanish style homes. I have found that the craftsman and Spanish style homes are timeless. In fact, they regularly get extra money because of their high demand from home buyers looking for an aesthetic aspect of Los Angeles real estate. The craftsmen here are unique and they're large. They're typically from the early 1900s, and same with the Spanish style homes. And regularly they tend to outpace their traditional stucco exterior competitors. So just a little note about historic Los Angeles real estate does very well when compared to the traditional homes. Now, they don't do as well as new construction, especially modern style new construction right now, which modern technically is a style from the 90s. Those weird shaped homes, those are modern homes. So we do, although we call them modern style now, they are considered contemporary from the real estate community. And as you can see, these homes, you know, old, but a lot of times very well maintained. People like the hardwood floors, and people do come in and put their own finishing touches on it. Like, for instance, that is probably a replica of the old style, not necessarily how it was when they bought it. All right, let's look at the cheapest home in the neighborhood. So this one here, remodeled as well. So that's a good sign. A little bit nicer of a remodel. It's kind of gives the vibe of a flipped property, which I do appreciate flipped properties when done well. And the reason I like flipped properties is because it allows people to buy nicer homes, especially when they're done well, and especially when they're done with permit. It allows people to buy nicer homes when they don't have the cash on hand to take a crummy home and make it look really nice. Because flipping a house can cost you anywhere between $100,000 and hundreds of thousands of dollars. A very large home in a very nice neighborhood can cost you upwards of $500,000 to fully remodel from corner to corner. In a neighborhood like Larchmont and in Koreatown, that same home well, not same home. Usually it won't be as big, but a home will typically cost you between $100 and $200,000 to remodel from corner to corner, and you might not be changing everything out. For instance, my wife and I spent $220,000 remodeling our house in the South Bay, and we put it into the kitchen. We added a bathroom out of the laundry room, moved the laundry room, redid the other bathroom, added windows, added solar. The roof was already done, so we got lucky there. Otherwise, that would have cost us another $15,000. We upgraded the plumbing. The electrical was already upgraded. Otherwise, that would have cost us about another $10,000 to $12,000. And we added an ADU and redid the landscaping from corner to corner. So in the end, the house turned out amazing. It increased our property value a lot, but over the 3.5 years that we lived there, it was a lot of cash out of pocket. So this one's on Melrose itself. This is a small lot subdivision, just to give you an example. It's basically like a tall and skinny. This one was constructed in 2014. This particular property, here, let me go to customer full, was built in 2014. It is listed for 1,225,000. Uh, these could be real engineered wood floors. Interesting on the dark color. But this is another style. See, what you don't see here is those little, you see the gray cracks in between the home right here. Those gray cracks are actually gaps between the home that they cover up so you don't get a bunch of crud in there. But those are actually gaps between the home that keep the home separate. So these homes are freestanding, technically. And one thing I do love about this style of home, and it's very similar to the listing that we have coming up in the neighborhood, are these rooftop decks. Now, this one is blocked in. This particular one is blocked in, as you can see. Unlike that particular property, which we just saw, our listing that's coming up has almost 360 view starting from downtown. You can see downtown Los Angeles in the San Bernardino Mountains, wrapping all the way around. You can see Culver City, the hill that sits above Culver City. You can see Century City, the Hollywood Hills, the Hollywood sign, and the Griffith Observatory. It's a really cool house with an amazing rooftop deck, and it was built in 2020. This one that we just saw was built in 2014. Uh, Older homes, bigger lots. This is an 8,000 square foot lot that need to be remodeled. This one might sit on a higher zoning as well. Typically, you'll see it in here, but not always. This one, definitely east to western, usually considered the Koreatown area. And another small lot subdivision home that is for sale. This one is on the Larchmont side of the street. Although when you get over there, they feel very similar. Once again, this one built in 2017, rooftop deck, very prominent of the time, and people are still doing them in this area because of the views, just like I shared with you. All right, now that we just covered what type of homes sit in the area, as you can see, a little bit of everything. And even one thing that we missed were homes that need remodeling, especially really bad fixers or teardowns, can be cheaper than that 1.1 million that we saw that's on the market. And homes can be more expensive. There have been more expensive sales in the area, especially of newer construction homes. Some of these homes are protected. It's called HPOZ. And they're protected by the city of Los Angeles as a contributing structure. Make sure to check with ZMUS, which is a LA City website, when you are in the process of buying a house here in Los Angeles, particularly in the Larchmont and Koreatown area, where some of the homes can be protected. Let's talk real quick about certain things to do. Now, one thing I gotta say that Larchmont is great at, but that Koreatown is better at, is the food scene. So let's go to restaurants. Okay, and we'll go here to Korea. Oh, no, don't want Manhattan Beach. Koreatown. All right. And you have, so as you can see here, Yelp considers west of uh, 1, 2. And as you can see here, Yelp considers west of Western also to be Koreatown. It's When it comes to neighborhoods in Los Angeles City, it becomes very difficult to define them because they are fluid. As certain areas become more popular, people tend to assimilate more with that particular area. So once again, as you can see from Yelp, and I'll go on to Google as well, it can be very difficult to differentiate between a particular neighborhood, because at one point in time, especially back in 2017, and again most recently, Koreatown is a hot area. It's seeing a resurgence of young people moving to the area because of jobs. It's close to work. It's close to downtown Los Angeles. It's close to Hollywood. It's close to the studios. Same with Larchmont. So as people pick one over the other, you tend to find yourself in a situation where people associate themselves with one neighborhood over the other. And from a historical perspective, things are fluid as they move through time to recent history of a particular neighborhood. So let's get back to Yelp about some of the best restaurants, and then we'll talk about some of the areas as well. All right. So if you're an avid Yelp user, let me just give you a few tips that I like to do. And, I use Yelp even when, looking for food, not homes. I use the multiple listing service, but even when looking for food in my own areas that I frequent the most, because restaurants are always changing. So Yelp, you're always going to get your two sponsored at the top. So roll past that, although sometimes they can be the same. I like to sort by two things. One, open now, especially if I'm trying to eat right now. I like to sort by open now. And then two, I always like to go by rating. These are all within 10, 15 minutes of each other, depending on traffic. And a lot of these are actually just minutes. You can walk from one restaurant to the other. So there's really no point in, picking based on recommended. It will, do this thing with the reviews and stuff. So some things I'm always looking for is at least 100 reviews. So this one has 5 reviews. It's a little light. Cafe Cali. So one cool thing about Koreatown is their food scene. I would say the food scene in Koreatown is more robust than the food scene in Larchmont. Now, the food scene in East Hollywood is also robust, and same with the food scene in Hollywood. But Koreatown is known especially for its Asian style cuisine, not coincidentally, but a lot of the best Korean barbecue places are actually in Koreatown. So one thing I got to say is that, even though there is a great food scene in Larchmont and in Hancock Park, and East Hollywood and Hollywood are very well known for having a diverse amount of food and different types of restaurants, Koreatown is synonymous with great restaurants, hip restaurants, and great Asian foods. Not coincidentally, hence part of the name, Koreatown has some of the best Korean barbecue places in Los Angeles, but also some great sushi places, Chinese places, you name it. So let's take a look at some of the best Asian style cuisine. So as you can see here, get past the just a number of different places. For me, anything over 4 stars is good. Anything over 4.5 stars is great, especially if you have a lot of reviews. These have 2,800 reviews, 2,900 reviews. As you can see, a lot of people have come in and a lot of people have sung their praise. Let's look at Japanese restaurants. Once again, in Koreatown, some amazing Japanese restaurants. 315 reviews, 757 reviews, 107 reviews, 161 reviews. I mean, some of these Japanese restaurants are very highly rated and have a great amount of reviews. So let's talk about food in Larchmont. Now, the food scene in Larchmont is not as robust because most of Larchmont is actually residential neighborhood, whereas Koreatown is a little more metro. As you see here, Yelp is assimilating a number of areas that it previously called to Koreatown, are calling it in Larchmont as well. There is one main strip, which is on Larchmont Boulevard, and a number of different restaurants. But as you can see, once again, not as robust. I did select all restaurants on this one, and still great though. 4.1 stars, 2,300 reviews. So it's just some amazing restaurants all around. LA, I find, is one of the most underrated food scenes in the United States. Obviously, LA, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated food scenes in the United States. A lot of people think of food scenes, they think of New York City, Miami food scene, but LA is really a huge blend of Asian culture, American culture, Hispanic culture, amazing Mexican food. I find LA has the best Mexican food outside of Mexico. And, in my opinion, I've been all over the United States, and LA food is just amazing. And one of the best aspects about the Larchmont, Koreatown, East Hollywood, Hollywood areas are their proximity to so many great things. We're going to talk about fun things, not just job epicenters. Obviously, there are a number of studios all around Hollywood, Studio City and Burbank, Warner Brothers, Universal Studios, Paramount, just to name a few. However, there are an amazing amount of fun activities to do in the area. It is really a young and vibrant scene. So we're looking at Larchmont, and once again, let's type in Larchmont so Larchmont gives it the same neighborhood. Let's type in Koreatown just to give you a sense of, and so it outlines this box right here, even though the multiple listing service had outlined it very much down Western. Let's type in East Hollywood. Okay, so Google says these areas. Let's type in Hollywood. And that is intruding a little bit on the other areas. So anyway, not to get super technical on it. As you can see here on the map, Larchmont is adjacent and across the street from Paramount Studios, otherwise known as Paramount Picture Studios. You can do their lot tour. It's a lot of fun. I personally am a fan of the Warner Brothers Studios. I just felt it was better done and a more entertaining experience. One thing a lot of people don't realize is that Warner Brothers leases out or licenses out some of the all their Harry Potter stuff for Universal Studios to use, as they told us on the tour, which was very interesting. I never thought that would happen, or never thought that studios would share each other. But Warner Brothers is actually right next door, or like right adjacent to Universal Studios. Paramount Picture Studios, however, is here. Sony Studios is in Culver City, which is more to the southeast from here, or west, right about here. So yeah, southeast. So Larchmont, Koreatown is roughly, let's see here. Let me just write. So this area is roughly 15 minutes from downtown Los Angeles, 19 minutes from the Griffith Observatory. Let's stick this in real quick. Let's go directions. Here, we'll go Larchmont, and then I'll go directions to Griffith Observatory. Boom, 18 minutes right now with traffic. Yesterday when I did it was 19 minutes. Dodger Stadium, some fun stuff. Ben Scully Ave, 17 minutes right now with traffic, even less without traffic, but hey, there's always traffic. A few other things. So you have Los Angeles City College, which is right here on the east side of the freeway. You have let's see here, the Titanic, the exhibition. Now this one is in Koreatown, as you can see. Then you have Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Why would I bring up a cemetery? Hollywood Forever Cemetery actually has some really cool movie picture stuff that they do in the summertime. You can go watch. It's through Cinepia. Here, let me. Cinepia Hollywood Forever. Yeah, Cinespia is the name. Sorry, Cinespia. They have them all around. Actually, they are in Hollywood. Obviously, this one is sold. Their next screening is sold out, but they do have them in other locations as well. Hollywood Forever is one. It's a cemetery. You go sit at the cemetery. Nightmare Before Christmas on August 24th is going to be one of the best things, and will probably sell out. Another cool thing is the Grove is about 13 minutes from Larchmont. 14 right now with traffic. It is 4:23 in the afternoon. Oops, lost my thing. And BMO Stadium. You want to catch an LAFC game? It is about 30 minutes right now with traffic, 20 minutes without. Well, a little bit less than 20 minutes, about 15, 20 minutes without traffic. And last but not least, the Staples Center. If you want to catch a game now, the Clippers will no longer be there. Their stadium is under construction and it looks like it will be built. I know they're doing already tours before they finish to show all the neighbors what they've been working on and all the traffic that they've been sitting through. So if you want to watch the Kings or the Lakers, it is a 23-minute drive right now with rush hour traffic. And that wraps up what are the differences between homes and neighborhoods of Koreatown, Larchmont, East Hollywood, and Hollywood. Stay tuned for more. Catch us on our next video. And if you want to see off-market properties in this neighborhood, drop us a comment below. We'll set you up with that multiple listing service access that we have, and we can get you off-market properties through it. I didn't show you on this video. I don't give away all my tricks and secrets, but we have it for you. Just give us a buzz. And as always, if you want to stay in tune with everything there is to know about Los Angeles real estate, what tips and tricks you need to use in your life so that you can win on your next home purchase or your next home sale, reach out, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. That way you can start changing your living situation one video at a time.